Smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories, where everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky eye. I tried to get ChatGPT to write this thing for me, but based on previous sermons, all it gave me was the entire lyrical download from Guns N' Roses' 1987 album, Appetite for Destruction. When I wrote that joke, I didn't know how close I'd be standing to Aaron. But anyway, here we are.
I love you, Tommy.
Thank you. I'd say rather than an appetite for destruction, my family's personal song would have been an appetite for connection. And that's what we had then when we started visiting St. Albans, and that's what we still have now to this day. Immediately once we started coming here, we experienced the love of this community and the peace of a historical liturgy that was led by people who take the sacrament seriously, but don't take themselves too seriously. You know that effect when you're maybe in like second or third grade and you see your teacher in the grocery store and you're kind of like out of place, you're confused. And so the first time I met Neil, who was here before, I was at a birthday party and he was wearing the collar. And then I saw him at church and he was wearing the robes and I was like, oh wow, this is kind of like kicked up a notch. And then I met Aaron for the first time and he was actually in shorts and like running shoes and stuff. And so there's kind of there's lots of times where you get to see these people in different contexts and realize that they're real people also. And that's the thing that has drawn me personally here, that St. Albans is made up of real people that bring their whole selves everywhere, even here on Sunday morning. My history with church growing up was that my Sunday best included the version of me that was the most presentable or the most acceptable, that there were like certain jokes or maybe hobbies or books and movies where I had to kind of filter things, that I'd be concerned what others might think. And so at lunch, it seemed like all those topics were back on the table, but for those 2 to 3 hours in the morning, on Sunday, I was in performance mode, or else I might not be invited back. My point isn't that we should make church less reverent, but that St. Albans is a place where you can be yourself, even if you're still kind of figuring out who that is. St. Albans is a church that invites whole families out to Navasota, Texas, to Camp Allen, to learn more about the Book of Common Prayer and to play pickleball and to tell embarrassing stories until late hours of the evening. St. Albans expects its members to be active participants in events and in services, and I'm thankful for that expectation because I've never felt more connected to and willing to say yes to what's going on at this church. St. Albans is home for me and for my family, and within my personal church history, that's a new song that I'm proud to sing. Thanks.
Thank you, Tommy.